Hey Sainers, welcome back to the Saints TV YouTube channel. Welcome to the round 23 review. And as you can tell, we got the chocolates, baby. I don't even know where to start, to be honest. It was full-time 107 St Kilda, 89 Geelong. And that was after, I think, 2 or 3 junk time goals by Geelong. That's the shit that you love to see. I mean, a team that's not going to make finals doing that, and the fans going absolutely mental in the stands, beating a team that we all hate. We never like playing Geelong, but we love beating Geelong. And to do that just before the end of the season, especially when Geelong had so much riding on this game, top 4, top 2 hopes, to do that, to deliver a performance like that, was just amazing to watch. That second half, I mean, we can talk a little bit about that first half. You know, we were inaccurate. Geelong were kind of picking off a lot of mistakes. We're very static. We over-handballed. You know, it was almost at one point 1-to-1 in terms of handball to kick ratio, and that significantly changed in the second half. We went much more attacking, much more natural. You know, at halftime I posted that we were very reactive at the contest, worried about Geelong and what they were doing. And when we got the ball, we were overcomplicating things and worried about who should I give it to, what should I do, and panicking with it to the point where we would just hack it forward. And Tom Stewart and Blixarves and these sort of guys were doing it. Humphreys, I think it was absolutely enormous for them. And then something happened at halftime, and a different, scary, serious St Kilda turned up. And it wasn't like we slowly chipped away at this. It was the dam wall broke and there was a flood and nothing could stop it. It was amazing to watch. And the beautiful thing about it was at the end of the third, when the ascendancy was with us, the Cats came out and kicked a very early goal. Stengel bobs up. And you're like, okay, Geelong have lifted for this now. They know that their top 4, top 2 spots on the line, and they've got 30 minutes to turn it around. And then after that, we stabilised and we hit them with a counter punch that was huge and put the game to bed very, very quickly. And it was hard to process watching it, going, look at these guys hit targets and how fast they're moving and how natural it looks. The forwards were all over the place. Hunter Clark was huge, and we got to chat to him in the room, so he shared a lot of very interesting insights, so stay tuned for that. Rowan Marshall, and I mean, Cal Wilkie, I mean, he's had some very good games for the club, but that was almost one of his best. I don't know how many marks he ended up with. I counted at one point it was 14, I think, but I dare say he probably eclipsed that and got above that. I don't know if that's a record for Cal Wilkie, but a stats nerd will tell me in the comments for sure. Jack Steele, leaders, you know, I always think when Jack Steele's hitting the scoreboard, like if you go back to a lot of games, his record for 2 or more goals in games, I feel like we almost win all of them. You know, maybe a game a couple of years ago against Melbourne, I remember he kicked 2 in a Spuds game, I think. Might have been the first Spuds game. We lost. But most of the time when Steele is playing an attacking role and kicking goals like that, we're winning and we're on top. And that's exactly what happened tonight. That was a very big captain's game from him. You know, if he's not getting the ball, he's hitting the scoreboard in this. And, you know, that's a lifter. Yeah, he kicked, I think, our first 2 goals of the game or something like that. So that was big. And then he sealed it, which was awesome. The Smalls were dangerous. With that, you know, Butler was quiet, but he chased all day. Darcy Wilson. I mean, I could go through the entire team, but I'm just thinking of the ones that come to mind immediately. And Darcy Wilson, you know, we've kind of thought, does he need a rest? Have we played him too much? You know, should he go back to Sandy? And then he does that. I don't know what his full-time stats were, but he was at 2 goals, 3 and 17 disposals with a fair chunk of the game left. And that's, you know, this is late in the season. So for his first season to be building into it and then to excel in a big game like today, was huge. And that left foot that we thought went in, that was, you know, that would have been all time, but unfortunately I think it clipped the post. It's just a reaffirming win. You know, a couple of weeks ago, it's funny how things happen. You know, you win 2 big games, you smash Essendon, you smash West Coast, you get pumped by Brisbane, you go, great, this is where we're at. And then you pull up and you beat Richmond comfortably, which you should, and then you've got a real test against a top 4 team, and you beat them like that, you know, comfortably in the end. We're on track, you know. I think I won't say too much about what Clark said in the rooms, but this year is a year that we can take a lot from, almost as much as last year, maybe more in some aspects, in terms of the development of the youngsters, of the game plan. I think that's a big one. We're starting to see a game plan that can kick 90 plus points pretty comfortably. Last week we did 99, 107. We kicked over 100 against Essendon. We kicked over 100 against West Coast, over 100 against Brisbane the first time. We're starting to put pile on goals quickly, which is really good because all the best teams do that. And our defence is still staying rock solid, Battle, Wilkie, Howard was big, Sinks was big today. Stocker did a good job in the midfield, I thought. We kind of quelled danger. He looked ominous pretty early, and then in the second half, he only had the 11 possessions. So we did a good job on that, and we lifted our work rate big time. We looked lazy, lethargic, and slow in the first half, and the intensity picked up. So credit to the players for delivering what they did today, because it was a thank you to the fans game, and that's the best way to do it. And the fans definitely gave back in terms of voice, in terms of atmosphere, and that would have lifted the players. But also credit to Ross Lyon and the coaching staff for delivering a message that at halftime had to get through to lift this game, to make it interesting even, not to win, but not to necessarily do what we did, but to be competitive and just make it a game where it wasn't going to be one-way traffic for the whole game. And they got through, they cut through. So, and it looked natural. Again, when we play that way, we look natural, we look at our best that way. And if we can deliver something similar to that next week against Carlton, it's going to make for a very interesting game, depending on what Carlton do against West Coast tomorrow. So I won't keep you too long, Saners. It was, to me, the best win of the year. I know we've beaten Sydney. I know we've beaten Essendon the way we did. I get all that. But to me, late in the season, when you could probably forgive the boys for kind of half checking out, to play like that, to beat a team, a professional team that we all respect and are almost envious of how consistent they are, to beat Geelong like that when they've got so much riding on it is amazing. And that's why we love our club. That's why we love this we believe in this club. That's what you believe, that these players have this in them. Hunter Clark, his second half was amazing. I've always seen that in him, and to put it together, Darcy Wilson to do it in his first season, and the players that we're missing, they can come back in and make us even stronger next year. This is why you get on board and you believe for next year that we could do some things. So put it in the comments. I don't know who your man of the match is going to be. There's so many players that we could name. But it's good to have a game like this to celebrate. It's very reminiscent of last year when we played Geelong. I had a feeling, I'm like, I reckon we can pull it off again. I reckon we can do it. And at halftime it wasn't looking likely, I'll be honest. But we turned it around quick, and fuck, that was exciting to watch. So I'll wrap it up there, Saners. Keep an eye out either later tonight or tomorrow. Hunter Clark interview will be out, and he was very honest. Awesome chatting to him, and it's so good to see him playing good football. I'm a big fan of his. He's one of my favourite players. He's had it tough, and he's a big reason why we put out that performance tonight. So full credit to Hunter Clark, and thank him and Mosh for the chat. Put in the comments, Saners, how you're feeling. And the podcast, all the content is going to be buzzing all week in the lead up to our final game of the season. It's going to be a sellout against Carlton, who have everything to play for, just like Geelong tonight. I can't wait to see us do our best to spoil the party. So enjoy the night, Saners. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care. And as always, go you mighty Saners. See you guys.